Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about my experience with Accutane and talking about my skin a little bit. So there's going to be no makeup, so I have nothing on my face, but I do have something in my eye. It's driving me nuts. So before I get into my thoughts and how everything on Accutane worked, just start off with a brief history about my skin. I started getting pimples roughly around 5th grade, around the time I hit puberty, TMI, but that's just what happened. So I started to get, breakouts here and there. I noticed like my chin started looking like weird, like goosebumpy. So I started experimenting with different type of face washes, and I started going to the doctor and getting like prescribed things, and just, as the years went by, my skin was getting worse. Started wearing makeup in, I think, 7th grade. I don't remember, I'm pretty sure, I have a really bad memory to start off with. I don't think I wore it every day, but I know I wore it when I could. I wasn't really supposed to wear it, so I didn't wear it a lot. But by 8th grade, I started wearing it a lot more. My skin was really bad in 8th grade, so I would wear like very cheap powdery foundation. I remember it was like the Maybelline foundation. I think it was Maybelline. I'm not 100% sure, because Maybelline's like one of my favorite like mascara brands and eyeliner brands. I have like a couple other things, but it was like a powder. A little brush came with it, like a kabuki style brush. So I used to wear that, and I don't think that helped my skin at all, because I would just cake it on, and I have pictures of me and you could tell I'm wearing like something, because my face is a little bit darker, but you can still see that I have like red spots and whatever. 8th grade, my skin was pretty bad. I had, I remember we went on the 8th grade field trip, and I didn't even want to wear my dress that I had, because it was like a strapless dress, and my chest had been broken out, my back was starting to break out, and it was pretty bad. I was having a lot of issues with my skin, and I just, I had tried Proactive, I tried Murad, I tried Acne Free. Proactive helped the most, but I'd get it as a gift from like other family members, like my parents my dad didn't work, so I never really got to get a lot of things from him. So mostly whenever I got Proactive or anything like that, it was from another family member that had got it for me. At the time, it still was like $30 a month or $60 a month, and to be getting that as a gift like every month wasn't gonna happen. So I used it when I could, but when it ran out, I was pretty much SOL until somebody else gifted me some Proactive. We had one time where I was supposed to go see a dermatologist, and we were there forever, and my dad was mad that we had to wait that long. So after driving for like 45 minutes and then waiting forever, we just left. So I didn't even get to see the doctor. We just were gone. So a couple more months went by. I don't remember if it was the summer before freshman year or like as freshman year started, like a couple months into it. That's around the time I went to a new dermatologist and talked about my acne, and they basically said that the type of acne I had wasn't going to go away unless I did Accutane. And I had heard about Accutane a little bit before, and I was kind of hoping that that's the route they were going, because I had heard, so many people that had been on it. My aunt actually was on it for getting like cysts on her back, nothing to do with acne, but it like helped out her having cysts. So her being on it, I was like, okay, well, if she was on it, then it's probably not that bad. I was really excited when I got to be on it. It was really weird though, because I had to have blood work drawn before I could start, and every month while I was on the medicine, I had to have my blood work drawn. They basically, as soon as I found out I was going to be taking it, they gave me birth control. And I was not sexually active at all, and it was really awkward because I didn't have my mom around, and my dad was there, but he wasn't the best person in the world. So it was very awkward, them handing me birth control with him there, and them being like, listen, we cannot give her this if she doesn't take it, because if there's any chance of her getting pregnant, it's a big deal. Mostly, the biggest thing is the baby can have birth defects, so it's more for the baby's sake, actually, than it would be for mine, but I really wasn't even having sex. So I'm like, okay, I'm taking birth control and this other pill for my skin, getting my blood work drawn every month, you know, is this really worth it? It seems like a lot of stuff, but I don't remember how long it took for my face to start clearing up, but I know by Christmas time my skin was amazing. I had no pimples on my chest, on my back. From the before and after, the pictures on the side are not retouched at all. None of these pictures have been retouched. The only thing is they've been put into a collage. The ones with my acne were taken at the beginning of 8th grade year, so about August of 2007, where the pictures with my skin being clear are around the Christmas time, so it would have been about a year and a couple months later, because it would have been 2008. Really the only thing I had at the time was I have very big pores, so I still had, you know, my large pores, and I had this scar, a couple scars on my face that I still have today. But besides that, my skin was like a freaking baby's butt, which is, I've come to realize that is like the weirdest phrase to say, but it was really, really soft. And I was really happy. I was like, heck yes, you know, my skin looks great. But leading up to my skin being great, there was some issues. I was having a lot of back pain. Accutane dries you out, so it dries out your bones, and I, you know, was just in a lot of pain when I tried to sleep and do anything. So then I had to be put on muscle relaxers. I was taking Flexerol. So for being a freshman, and I was like one of the younger, I was the youngest or one of the youngest in my grade. I'm only 14 years old on Flexerol, Accutane, birth control, getting my blood drawn, all of this for clear skin. So that is a lot. Those are definitely some of the cons for it. And my skin would get super dry. My dermatologist would give me like crap tons of samples of all these types of creams. I remember I had like Cetaphil. I had this other brand, I don't remember the name, but it was like, worked really, really good. But my skin would get so dry in my lips. I have a really old YouTube channel. I wonder if I can find the video I'm thinking of. It's still around, I just don't remember anything, so I don't use it. I have a couple videos on it from when I was like a freshman. And I have a video and I like making fun of my lips because it looks like I had gotten collagen. That's not what happened at all. My lips were so dry that they would get really big, and I'd have to put like tons of cream on it. And yeah, so it looked like I had big ass fake lips. It looked like I did the Kylie Jenner challenge, and that was just from my skin being dry from the medicine. Plus it was like, you know, getting winter time too, so even more drying than normal. They gave me like Cetaphil face wash and the moisturizer, so I pretty much just used those the whole time I was on Accutane. And by the time Christmas came around, I couldn't believe how, you know, amazing my skin was. And I had stopped taking the medicine. I think I was on it for a total of 6 months when I finally stopped. And I was told I wouldn't get another pimple again until I was in my 30s. I'm 21. If you can't tell, I have pimples. Yeah. I didn't start actually getting acne again though until a couple months went by after I stopped. So a little bit before the end of stopping, and then after a couple months after stopping, my skin was great. And then I started getting pimples again. It was never anything like it used to be, and I really have no room to complain about it, but I was, you know, a sophomore at this time, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I'm not supposed to have any pimples again. Why am I getting breakouts? So I ended up going back to the dermatologist, and they put me on Accutane again. And I was still having issues with pain and have to take muscle relaxers again. Then here's where the TMI part comes. I started having problems sitting. Like, my butt hurt, and I'm not talking about my cheeks, I'm talking about the hole. It fucking hurt. Like, I've never had a hemorrhoid, but I would have to imagine it would feel like what hemorrhoids were like. But just like constant pain. I'd like be in school and I would like be almost in tears. I stopped taking the medicine, and I ended up having like a colonoscopy done, you know, just to make sure nothing went wrong, because I always would see commercials about if you've taken Accutane and you've gotten irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, or all this other stuff, and I'm like, okay, most of those have to do with your colon. My fucking asshole hurts. that's probably a sign I should stop taking this medicine and make sure everything's in the clear. Had the colonoscopy done, everything was fine, so I don't know if I was just, I don't know what was going on. They never found anything, I don't know. But I stopped taking Accutane. I haven't been on the medicine since, and I didn't start getting bad breakouts again until around 2014. So I still would get breakouts, like, but I mean like practically clear skin with, you know, a few pimples here and there. Nothing like how right now I've been through like this like really like bad like hormonal acne. Bad for me, better than some people, worse than others. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I have the worst skin in the world, because I know there are people out there that have it worse, and I'm not trying to like make people feel sorry for my skin, because really it's not that bad. But everybody always, you know, you're harder on yourself than you are on other people. I noticed I started getting more breakouts after I got pregnant with my daughter, which I guess it's pretty normal. I had my daughter, and then my skin was okay, and then after I got pregnant with my son, I started getting breakouts again. Some of my videos that I have on this channel right now where I'm pregnant, or they say old videos, those are from my old channel, not the one that I talked about at the beginning of the video, but my old one that is deleted, that I took down. And I just reposted some of the videos that I had on there from then, and that's around the time when I started getting much more breakouts again. I still have some issues that I think are from Accutane. When you're taking it, one of the things is you could have trouble seeing at night. Don't drive at night. I think this is for everybody. I think they just tell you not to drive at night. So I don't know if it's every single person gets this, but it's like probably enough to where they have to say that. I have very bad vision at night driving. Like, I have to have my brights on. Like, people that can drive at night without having their brights on, I'm like, how do you see? Like, I can see, but it's not enough for me to be like comfortable driving. Still have some issues with like colon area. I'm not gonna go into whole gross details, but I don't know if it I don't really know what it is. Like I said, I had a colonoscopy when I was in high school, and they said everything looked fine, so it may have nothing to do with it. It may have something that they just missed. It might not be that bad of an issue. Have that. The pros are really get acne anymore. I get like one pimple. I think I had like two this week, which, you know, more than one is rare. I get like a couple, but like nothing like it used to be. And my chest didn't even start breaking out until like last year. So my chest and my back were clear from 2008 till 2015. My skin on my face just progressively gotten worse. I'm not saying don't try Accutane. I'm just saying that it will work for a little bit, and then you can end up like me, where just, you know, a couple years later you have it again, and you can have other issues like driving at night and sitting on your ass. And you know, there's other people that have it worse. A lot of people were really depressed. Like, I think some people have even committed, I think, suicide while on it. Now, I had depression before I started Accutane, so I'm not going to say that my depression now or any of my issues now are from Accutane, but I think definitely if you have those issues and you take it, it can make it really worse. I wasn't at my worst time when I was on Accutane. My life was, I was doing pretty good. I had friends, and I had a boyfriend, and my skin was getting cleared up, and I was feeling pretty for once in my life, and so my overall outlook on life was getting a little bit better, so I wasn't as depressed. I struggle with depression daily. Even when I'm having, you know, good days, it's still there. So I still was depressed then, and I don't know if the Accutane made it worse or not, but I know that it can. So these are just things to think about if you are actually thinking about taking it, because this is a serious drug. I'm not going to say yes or no. I'm not going to tell you what my opinion is. I'm just going to tell you that when I was on it, my skin was great. My skin is not great anymore, and I have some issues that I think are from the Accutane, and that other people have, you know. Obviously, you can get them from it if you open the book and it says do not drive at night. It says if you're feeling depressed, blah, 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 don't even take this medicine. You just have to learn that you can't help with the cards you're dealt. You just have to learn to live with it sometimes. You can find things that make it better, but obviously you're going to have issues sometimes. So Accutane did not clear my skin. So take from this what you want out of it. Just listen to my pros and cons, how I'm dealing with things, and make up your own mind. But like I said, I'm not swaying you to do one or the other for either. I just think that that's something that you have to think of for yourself, make your own decisions on that. I'm just letting you know about my experience, so maybe you can have a little better insight. I have seen people say like, oh, you can't ever get pregnant if you take an Accutane, or you'll be infertile. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I can tell you that I have 2 kids and I was on Accutane. So now you're not supposed to get pregnant like 2 years after you stop taking it, because birth defects are a big side effect of getting pregnant while being on the drug. That's why they make you take the birth control, like I said at the beginning. So I wouldn't be trying to get pregnant for a couple years after. I stopped taking the medicine in early 2010, and I got pregnant like exactly 2 years later. And I was cutting it really close. And I actually thought about that the whole time, before I got an ultrasound done and everything. I'm like, how close is this to when I stopped taking Accutane? Is there going to be any issues? And my daughter didn't have any birth defects. That's still kind of close. So if I was going to give you advice that was good for that, I'd say wait at least 3 years. Like I said, I got lucky. My daughter didn't have anything, but it doesn't mean it isn't going to happen to somebody else. So, and it doesn't mean that if you take Accutane you won't be infertile. I'm just saying I've taken it, and I have 2 kids. I hope this video helps with any questions that you may have, or anything you're wondering about Accutane. I hope that I gave enough information that was helpful and that you can actually take to heart on some things about just dealing with your skin, learning to love yourself for what you are. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks.